With John Constantine's help, Batman has finally succeeded in dropping Superman. But did he win? Welcome to the Complete Story Series, where we take trade paperbacks as single issues and we break them down into digestible bites to help you understand. Then we read it dramatically back to you. All alterations to the panels, text, and images are to prevent copyright problems, and all art is owned by its respective companies. Don't forget to support these books by buying them online at your favorite digital retailer or going to your local comic book store. Now, when we last left off, John Constantine got involved in the battle against Batman and Superman, and they managed to put Superman into an eternal sleep. What's gonna happen next?
This is part 2 of year 3 of a major war. The Joker tricked Superman into killing Lois and his unborn child, which led to a divide between him and Batman. Superman's team wanted to rule the world and force peace, while Batman's team felt that things needed to continue the way that they were. The Green Lanterns then got involved because they wouldn't stand by while someone else conquered the planet, and the Yellow Lanterns came to Superman's aid. In the end, Superman got a yellow ring and he defeated all of the Green Lanterns. But the battle got Constantine involved, and that got magic involved. Constantine tried a plan that would get some of his allies killed, and when that failed, he needed to move towards a plan that would place Superman into an eternal slumber. A perfect dream where everything was the way that he wanted. While Batman and Constantine think that they've won, this isn't the end of their journey. Because Wonder Woman has also been placed in the same magical sleep ever since the day Green Arrow died, and she has just awoken, to her mother and Ares, the god of war, standing by her side. They explain that she has been in a magical sleep for months, and that it took a deal with Hera to wake her up. The first thing Diana wants to know is where is Superman, and Ares tells her, much has happened since you fell asleep. Over in the Tower of Fate, Batman's base of operations, he turns to his prisoners, Flash, Raven, Cyborg, and Robin, to tell them, Superman is down, and you can still undo the damage that you have done. We can be a team again. And Robin's response sums it up best for everyone. Screw you. Over in the Hall of Justice, Diana returns demanding to know what happened. Why is Hal Jordan the Yellow Lantern? And then she walks into the hall where they are keeping Superman with Ares. But that's when she notices that Superman is wearing a Yellow Lantern ring, and she turns to Sinestro demanding to know what he did. She jumps on him and she begins to strangle him. Sinestro takes to the sky, telling the Amazon that she will not touch him again. But Wonder Woman doesn't care. She smashes through his constructs and throws him out of the building. She then jumps on him and punches him over and over, scaring everyone because she's never been this angry. Until Superman stops her by catching her punch. Ares awoke him. What are you doing, Clark? Diana demands, and he explains that Sinestro is with him. And she tells him, nothing justifies him wearing a ring fueled by fear. Now give it to her. So, he does. And she crushes it before they take off to the skies to talk about what's been going on, what she's missed. He explains the Lantern War, Batman's actions, and the dream that was paradise. In the dream, he had Lois, he had the farm, he had a daughter. He had a daughter! He saw what could have been, and then it was taken from him again. Now, he is that much angrier knowing what he's missed. And Diana tells him that this is their reality, and he needs to get over it. At that moment, Spectre fills Superman in on the location of Batman's prisoners. They are all located in the Tower of Fate. He can't go there himself, but he can get Superman there. Which leads to the walls of the Tower of Fate exploding as Superman's regime enters it. While this is going on, Dick Grayson as the new Deadman enters the Gotham prison to find Jim Corrigan, the true host of Spectre, to see if he can figure out why the Spectre is acting so weird. But what he finds scares him, as Jim is laughing maniacally, not hosting the Spectre. Back in the Tower of Fate, Superman punches Batman into the back wall. So Batman tells his team to pop the green pills that they stole from Superman's regime that will grant them super strength, and Dr. Fate flips the tower, mixing everything up. They all begin fighting it out with Batman versus Superman, Catwoman losing to Sinestro, and Diana defeating Batwoman. And then Harley Quinn blows up Shazam! Constantine has a plan though as he tells Clarion to get ready. But before Clarion can do anything, Sinestro blasts him from behind, killing him. So Constantine pulls his ace out of the hole, and he goes for one final summon. He calls on Trigon! You will burn for what you did, Kryptonian! Trigon shouts as he grabs Superman. We need to leave, Batman! You summon Trigon? No one summons Trigon. Then why is he here? Why is he attacking Superman? He's here because I sent out a magical beacon with his daughter's location. That and I had Etrigan spreading rumors in hell that Superman kidnapped Raven. He then tries to pull on Batman, pulling him out of the room. Meanwhile, Harley looks on Trigon. Oh my god, it's the guy from Legend! I love that movie! Are there gonna be unicorns too? Hal calls the Shazam to go find Raven now, and then Harley turns to see Shazam leaving. Shazzy, where are you going? You're gonna miss the unicorns! Dang it, kind of fallen in love with you a little bit. But while she's debating what she should do about Shazzy, Trigon guts the God of War. So Batman's whole team begins to leave with Harley saying goodbye to any potential unicorns while Trigon smashes all of the heroes. But just as Bruce is leaving through the portal, Dick Grayson appears to him. Grayson explains that he now has the power of Deadman and that he found Jim Corrigan in a straitjacket laughing and that he was put there magically by whoever is in the Spectre. So Batman asks, then who is in the Spectre? Meanwhile, back in the Tower of Fate, the true identity of the Spectre finally reveals itself to save Superman from Trigon. It's Mr. Mxyzptlk, and he's been following Superman since the start, keeping him safe, because only he is allowed to mess with Superman, and no one else can kill and remove him from the multiverse. Simply put, as he explains it to the heroes, if Superman is killed, then this will be a very boring multiverse for him. And with that, their epic brawl with neither truly winning but their powers being so fast that no one else can get involved begins. But as their battle hits new levels of insanity, Wonder Woman throws out the idea that maybe they should get the heck out of the Tower of Fate because there are literally two guys tearing reality apart in here. So, Mr. Mxyzptlk says, that's a great idea, and he teleports everyone to the front of the House of Mystery, where Batman and crew are hiding. He then teleports Batman and Constantine outside with Superman, and he tells Constantine, you have some explaining to do before going back and fighting Trigon once more. Realizing the superpowered heroes have been badly beaten, Batman's crew comes running out of the house getting ready to continue their fight. But just as they appear to be winning, as they are finally beating down Superman and friends, Swamp Thing gets involved. He grabs everyone up in plant and he tells Constantine that he doesn't want to hurt John, and he knows that John was already planning to kill him. So John teleports out of the hold the Swamp Thing has on him and into the House of Mystery. But in the House of Mystery, Dr. Fate tells Grayson just how bad this is. The green is not something you can win against. But let's say they actually do. Well, then they have Trigon eventually winning his fight, and he'll turn his 4 eyes onto the group to kill them. They can't win like this. And just then, John teleports into the house to inform them that this is horrible that Swamp Thing is involved. This is not what they wanted to fight. Grayson and Dr. Fate look at him. We already know how bad this is. Well, fine, give me some time, John tells them, and Grayson gets an idea. Meanwhile, back outside, the fight continues with Diana dropping Catwoman, Harley Quinn blowing kisses to Shazam before he shoves her into the ground, and Batwoman defeating Sinestro. Renee Montoya and Hal are fighting on the other side, and she's actually beating him until he gets tired of it and smashes her with a construct. Superman and Batman are still fighting it out though, and Superman tells him that he will never be as strong as him, no matter how many strength pills he takes. And Batman tells him that he isn't going to be like him. He has humanity. At that moment, Shazam knocks Batman out of the fight. Things would be lost if not for Grayson's plan. He went to possess Poison Ivy and he has her flying the Batplane to the fight right now. As he gets closer with Shazam standing over Batman, no one is sure what's gonna happen next. So Grayson leaps out of the Batplane and into Shazam, where he instantly calls down Shazam, turning him back into Billy Batson. Poison Ivy then leaps out of the plane and into the fight, confused as to why she's even here, but she does see that the forest is burning around her due to Trigon's hellfire. That's when Swamp Thing sees her, and the battle begins with green versus green. While this is happening, Batwoman and Helena jump in to fight against Superman, seeing that he's now weakened, but Wonder Woman jumps in their way and begins fighting against them on behalf of Superman. Back with Billy Batson and Bruce, Grayson, while possessing Billy's body, tells Bruce to forgive. Grayson tells him to let Grayson's death go. That Bruce was the greatest father that he ever knew, and his life would have been ruined if Bruce didn't adopt him. And now, his other son needs his help. Damian, don't turn your back on your son, Bruce. They then hug with Batman thanking him, and Grayson leaves Billy's body, and Bruce knocks him out. Meanwhile, Batwoman and Helena are putting up a good fight against Wonder Woman. They're at least keeping her at bay, until Wonder Woman throws her lasso out and wraps it around Helena's neck, breaking it. Both Diana and Batwoman stop, and then Batwoman jumps on her shouting, "Murderer!" But all of this is the least of their problems, because Trigon is done playing games, and he is bringing this whole place down to hell! All of reality begins to tear apart, and everyone can feel it. This fight is literally hitting its breaking point. It stops everyone in their tracks. Swamp Thing and Poison Ivy stop fighting, and they begin working together to fix the green, and Diana and Batwoman stop their brawl, and even Batman and Superman need to stop what they're doing. Inside the House of Mystery, John realizes everything is done. They've lost, and the heroes that are outside of the House of Mysteries will die when it gets pulled down to hell. So Flash tells him, "Let me go. I have enough speed force in me that I can still go out there and get everyone." John takes a drag off his cigarette and releases Flash. He saves everyone that he can, and almost everyone gets inside of the house until it comes to Swamp Thing. By the time he gets to Swamp Thing, it's too late, and Swamp Thing is pulled down into hell with everything. Flash was smart though. There are 2 magical houses out here, and he split them up, Batman's team and Superman's team. This is only a temporary fix though. Trigon and Mr. Mxyzptlk are going to destroy everything and bring it all to hell! Grayson suggests that he can try to possess either one of them, but John tells him that that won't work. Both are outside of his pay grade, and Batman figures it all out. He turns to John. You planned this all along. You knew this was going to happen. You're hiding something. And John disappoints him. No, sorry. There was no accounting for Mxyzptlk coming in here causing a titanic celestial overload. They'll go supernova magically speaking unless we can convince them to pack their toys and go elsewhere. Then that's what we'll do. We'll teleport them into the void, where they can never get back to us, Dr. Fate chimes in. Shazam's lightning can transport Billy to another dimension, and I have a mastery over lightning. I can control it. We're out of time, John says, as the windows explode with the power of the Titans. So Grayson decides that he'll do it, and he takes off out of the house. Meanwhile, in the House of Secrets, Diana can't think of any other answers, and she decides that she will bring Raven to her father. But just at that moment, Grayson gets into the house and he tells her to stop. Dr. Fate has a plan and it requires Billy Batson. As Grayson begins walking Billy outside, and Dr. Fate flies out of his house, Damian sees the ghost of Dick. Dick, it's okay, Damian. Billy walks outside and stands beneath 2 of the most powerful beings in the entire multiverse, terrified. But Dr. Fate stands out there with him in the middle of this mess of magic. At that moment, Raven finally wakes up and sees her father out there, and she flies out into the magical storm. So, standing beneath everything with all of reality tearing itself apart in front of them, Dr. Fate stands with Billy, and he shouts, Shazam! The lightning comes down to Billy, and Dr. Fate redirects it onto Trigon and Mr. Mxyzptlk, and he transports them both away, ending this entire mess. The magical explosion was so great that it knocked everyone onto their butts, and Zatanna had to show up and teleport Batman's team to the hidden base in Alaska that he built a long time ago. And then he turns to Batwoman. Where's Constantine? Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice, Superman apologizes to his team, admitting that he has made some questionable actions. If he hadn't been focused on Batman, he might have seen Trigon and Mxyzptlk coming. He then thanks them and goes into space to overlook Earth while Wonder Woman joins him and admits she was wrong. Sometimes, it's okay to dream. And Constantine? He's with his daughter Rose Constantine, the one that started all of this when Batman walks in. John! It's about time, Bats. I wish I could say it's been a pleasure. You've been playing all of us from the start, haven't you? Your whole endgame was this, to get rid of Trigon. Took you longer than the chimp to sort that one out, mate. The chimp wanted to talk about that weeks ago. This has always been about Rose. I would do anything to keep her safe ever since Superman's bloody war dropped an alien on Rose's mum. You said you wanted revenge against Superman for that. You both deserve a shot in the bullocks. Him for being a tyrannical wanker, and you for being so simple-minded. Now, it's time for me and Rose to leave. Consider this a magical relocation program. No one will ever put my daughter in jeopardy again. I trusted you, John. Your mistake, mate. I'm not a hero. I'm just a father with a kid to raise. And as Batman watched John vanish off of this plane of existence, he looked down to see a drawing that Rose had made of a potential happy family. Mom, Dad, and her. And that closes the magical year of year 3. Now, we have to go to year 4, because you need to get ready for year 5, which drops in January from DC Comics, and I need to get you ready for that. I hope you enjoyed this, because I personally do enjoy the Injustice comics, and I'll see you real soon, with the gods coming down for a war.